Now then, the Govender Brothers trial continues the Durban High Court. Yesterday, I did a video commenting, only yesterday, it'll be 2 days ago now, when you see this video, commenting on the case, the latest eyewitness from the restaurant, and offering my comments on innocent until proven guilty, and what the witness said. Does it really mean that fellow Govender fired the shot? Could it be that Darren fired the shot? Could it be that someone in Darren's vehicle fired the shot? Could it be there was a fourth person there or third person there who actually fired the shot, placing an element of doubt? Now, I was presenting all the scenarios that the defense might put together to say that fellow Govender was not the shooter, maybe somebody else was the shooter, and I went to pains to say I'm not here to protect the Govender Brothers, I'm not on their side, I'm not getting paid by them, but still the West Ham specials come and refuse to listen to what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to present it to you in law, what the magistrate sees or what the magistrate hears as pure evidence. And clearly at this moment you must understand these two here are innocent until proven guilty, and they must be proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. But let's address the concerns people raised, and we can learn from that, my perspective, and maybe you can also get a perspective, well, from my point of view. So let's start here. This guy talks, he says, brother is not an eyewitness. Eyewitness would have seen everything. So basically, the headline said eyewitness gives his details about seeing Farrell in front of the vehicle and seeing Farrell without a gun in his hand. This guy challenged it. He said, according to him now, this is not an eyewitness. According to him, an eyewitness must see the crime being committed. So, sir, you are wrong. And for those of you who said he was an eyewitness to what he saw Farrell Govender standing in front of Shailen's vehicle. Eyewitness testimony, sworn testimony, goes on record, places Farrell Govender at the scene in front of Shailen's vehicle. He also saw Farrell Govender without a gun in his hand. Eyewitness testimony goes on record. It's in the court file. He's an eyewitness. And then this person that challenges, he says, Trevor says, with much respect, your version of the third person, other brother being the shooter, that's you speculating. If the murder weapon is not present, the murder will and can be prosecuted beyond a reasonable doubt. That's my 2 cents. Well, firstly, the third person version of the brother or anyone being the shooter, that's you speculating. Well, that's where we are at the moment in this court case. Speculation. You are also speculating that Farrell Govender fired the shots. That's also speculation. But you want to convict the person on speculation. At the moment, nothing is proven beyond reasonable doubt. All evidence sort of at the moment, or public perception, points towards Farrell Govender committing the crime. But that's all speculation. Now you say if the murder weapon is not present, the murder still can be prosecuted beyond a reasonable doubt. Well, if the prosecution proves beyond a reasonable doubt, he will be found guilty. That's what I'm saying. But the onus of the burden of proof beyond reasonable doubt lies with the state, not with the defense. This is also a common question comes up. Why did they hand themselves over to the SAPS? Because you remember, after the shooting, I think a day or so later, early on New Year's Day, I think, they handed themselves over to the SAPS. Now, when a warrant of arrest is issued or you're being sought after as a suspect in a matter, you either have the police come after you wherever you are, take you away in handcuffs, arrest you in front of your family, your friends, etc. Or you say, well, if I'm a person of interest, let me present myself to you. They handed themselves over to the SAPS. If you hand yourself over to the SAPS, doesn't mean you'll be arrested immediately. They'll also question you, etc. is what I think. Then they will choose to arrest you. If you've got an alibi, whatever, then maybe they'll say they won't arrest you. You're a person of interest. So why they did not hand themselves over to SA because they were guilty. They knew the police were looking for them. They said, well, here I am. If you want to charge me, charge me. But here I am. You don't need to come to my house and arrest me, put me in handcuffs, put me in the back of the police van, etc., etc. Now, that answers that question. Now, let's deal with this one. Jordan Blake Ramcharan wants to know, since when you became an advocate? I answered last week, Tuesday. Does that answer your question? But while I became an advocate only last week, Tuesday, I can say with almost absolute certainty, you have been a West Ham special since the day you were born. Tell what you must.
Tell what you must. Tell what you crave. But don't tell a flop. Don't tell with a masala.